Well, Dan McClory joins us now. He's the managing director and head of China at Boustead Securities. Dan, thanks for being with us. First, take us through some of what's been on the agenda in terms of the economy, rural development, climate, some of the trends.
You know, the economy obviously features large in the events in Beijing. And I think what's particularly striking about it is the coming together of some incredibly talented international business people who have all weighed in on how they see things unfolding post-pandemic. And ideally with these nations coming together so that we can unite around various themes. And I think those themes have been alternative energy and its direct relationship to the climate. So we've heard a lot about that and perspectives about which forms of alternative energy are going to endure, which nations are going to become carbon neutral within what periods of time. This is what's gotten a lot of the immediate international play. Of course, China has been discussing its domestic economy and some of the key considerations for moving it forward.
China's central bank has said that monetary policy needs to focus on growth while reducing risks. How does that happen?
It's interesting because when we hear China's pronouncements about its economy, we frequently hear this risk metaphor. And just to international observers and listeners and viewers in general, let's just take that apart. And what does that mean? It really means growth and fueling the economy with enough capital so that businesses can thrive. In the case of China, we're now talking particularly about small and medium-sized enterprises who were affected because of the pandemic and are now staging their COVID comebacks. So risk, China style, is let's not have too much money, let's not have too loose of a monetary supply so that we encourage the economy at a rate that wouldn't be prudent. But at the same time, let's have enough gasoline in that engine so that economy can drive forward.
He Lifeng, the head of the NDRC, the state planner, said that the foundation of China's economic recovery was not solid. I understand he's talking about possible foreign elements that could throw off its recovery.
Yes, as we've discussed from time to time, it's one thing for China to have staged its COVID comeback. It's another thing for the rest of the world to undertake theirs. And there's a direct relationship, of course. So we have such an intertwined economy globally. I think you see this in the host of business leaders who are speaking at the forum in Beijing right now. And it really is impossible for one nation to go it alone with domestic consumption, production, or even exports. There's so much dependence upon the rest of the world. So China's recently announced that imports of certain products appear to be increasing and will be encouraged. And these range from luxury goods to services, which is super important. If China is buying, the rest of the world is undoubtedly going to do better.
You mentioned the business leaders there, Elon Musk among them. His Tesla cars are running in a bit of a challenge in China now. How's that playing out?
Well, you've got to give Elon Musk credit. Before virtually anyone, he decided to put together a plant in China to manufacture vehicles. He's visionary in a lot of industries, and from a manufacturing standpoint in China, let's give him credit for having done that. What's occurring globally with Tesla, and not just in China, is that electric vehicles from other manufacturers, certainly the incumbent large manufacturers such as Volkswagen or Ford, are now on the rise. So you're seeing market share of Tesla start to decline month by month as the incumbent players come online and start to build vehicles. And in China, there's upwards of 75 electric vehicle manufacturers. It's a very, very crowded and extremely competitive space. Tesla definitely has a brand. They've stolen a march, as we say, and they've really had the chance to get a lead and to stake out some space. But it's theirs now to defend and perhaps even build upon.
This forum comes on the heels of the China-U.S. talks in Alaska. How did that impact the gathering?
Well, I think you know, the words to describe the Alaskan typical climate and weather are the words that were used to describe that summit: frosty, cold, and you know, a little of that carried over. However, I think there's a notable and interesting difference. So, whereas the economy didn't get a whole lot of airtime in Alaska, certainly the events in Beijing are all about that. And you're seeing international business people come together with China, okay, not discussing what they don't agree on, but what they do agree on, and looking to move forward confidently. So I thought that was very interesting, even though the U.S. heading into Alaska, on the heels of having met with some of its international and Pan-Pacific allies, was attempting to put forth a slightly different look or coalition. You're seeing business people that are pragmatic, that want to get things done, coming together in Beijing.